Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Authority Marketing Live. I'm Melanie Hirschhorn, and I am so excited that you're here because I have a wonderful guest who's going to talk to us about things that are going on in our minds, and we don't even realize it, or maybe we do. But now you'll really know the answers once you watch this amazing guest talk about her books, and you can even get a copy. But before I bring her on, I just want to remind you that we have the Boost Your Book Sales workshop, and that's coming up, and it's going to be live on October 27th at 9 a.m. Pacific, and that's noon Eastern, and you can get the link. I'll have the link for you in the comments, and I really hope that you can attend and get some really great strategies on boosting your book sales. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Dr. Deborah Fryer, who said it was okay if I called her Deborah. So hello.
Hello, great to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. So let's okay, so first of all, we're going to talk, oh, there's a strange feedback. All right, we'll pretend it's not there. We're going to talk about your book today that is called Turn on Your Tap. And you are not talking about my faucet. You are talking about something that is inside me. So please tell us what your book is about.
So this was the first book that I wrote completely by myself. I've been in a number of other books that are multi-author books. This was the first book that I wrote by myself. And it is about EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique tapping. Tapping is a mind-body way of resolving unresolvedness within our system. Our conscious and our subconscious are constantly in battle with each other because the conscious mind is the problem-solving, the problem-creating part of us. It looks to the past, it looks to the experiences we've had, the knowledge we've had, what has happened in the past, and it takes very careful notes of all of our disappointments, all our failures, all our insults, all our rejections, all our abandonment, all our wounds. All of that is cataloged in your own Library of Congress, and it lives in your body. Your body is the subconscious mind. It's the nervous system's reaction. So every time you think a thought, the thought in and of itself is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It's neither painful nor pleasurable. It's just a thought. It's just floating by, like clouds float by in the sky. And when the clouds float by in the sky, they morph and dissolve and transform and take on different shapes and sizes and colors. And it doesn't hurt the sky one bit. However, when your thoughts float by, they scratch you and they claw you and they yell at you. And we get really reactive to them. And we're like, that's never going to work. This is going to hurt me. I'm going to fail. And we just create this story that is often catastrophizing. It's often looking at the worst case scenario. Why? Because the conscious mind is remembering something from the past, and it's projecting that thing that happened in the past like it's a giant rubber stamp or a cookie cutter, and it's stamping it on the now moment and the now moment and the now moment, and the now moment is the next one and the next one and the next one, because actually all the brain understands is now. There isn't anything except now. So here you are thinking a thought.
I'm laughing because I feel like you're talking about me, but go on.
I'm talking about all of us. I'm talking about me too, right? We all have the same physiology. We all have the same wiring, which is we have certain goals and dreams and desires and things we want to create and do and experience and be and feel and have. And then the subconscious conditioning is like, no, you can't have that. You can't make that much money. You can't be a best-selling author. What? You're not going to be on the New York Times bestseller list for 16 weeks in a row. Who do you think you are? You've never written a book before. You don't have that big of a list. Blah, 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 blah. And if we listen to the blah, 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 we will never write the damn book. So we're here to talk about books, right? So what does tapping have to do with it? So tapping is this beautiful, simple way for you to interrupt the blah, blah, blah that says you can't, it's not going to work, you're not ready, you don't know enough, who do you think you are, you're not an authority, all the ways that we're so conditioned to discount ourselves, to disqualify ourselves, to say, I need one more degree, I need more time. This is me, and I wish I try every day. I'm still in conversation with the one who's writing every day, but it's so disorganized. I'm working on another book right now, and it's so disorganized. I write every day, and it's all over the place. And I have to keep reminding myself, I am all over the place. I'm everywhere as a spiritual being. I'm everywhere. I have access to everything. It is totally okay that you've got all these creative ideas. It's totally okay because you know what? Your editor is going to look at it with fresh eyes and she's going to say, this goes here and this goes here and this chapter's over here. And actually, this part belongs over here. And here's what the through line is. I don't need to see that. And so tapping is going to help you clear, release the addiction to I'm not ready yet. It's going to help you unhook from this isn't going to work for me. It's going to help you unhook from I'm so desperate for this book to be a bestseller, which is actually going to be a block. You're not writing the book so that it is a bestseller.
Right. Yeah.
Writing the book because you have something that you need to say. You're writing the book because you have experience or wisdom or some passion for a story that you need to share because millions of people need to read it. And so that's what the book is about. The book is about how do you get the conscious and the subconscious mind to listen to each other, because the conscious isn't better than the subconscious, although it thinks it is.
Oh, mine really thinks it is.
The subconscious isn't better than the conscious. It's like your conscious mind, neuroscientists say, conscious mind accounts for 1 to 5% of all our habits, beliefs, thoughts, and actions. The subconscious accounts for 95 to 99% of all the rest of you. So you need both of them for you to be whole. Because if you're only operating as subconscious, you're not whole. You're missing the structure. You're missing the discipline. You're missing, no, this goes here and this goes there. You're missing the masculine and you need that. And if you're only operating in the masculine, you're pretty rigid. You need proof. You need evidence. You're terrified to be creative. You're terrified to trust your intuition. You feel like you're doing it wrong. You're suffering from perfectionism. That's not going to work for you either. So we need both. We need to bring our whole selves, vulnerable, powerful, brilliant, and I don't have a freaking clue. All of you has to be present when you're writing a book. And Turn on the Tap helps you access all of you so that you can just be your full self.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so let's, first of all, this is how we can go to your website. We can then get some really great stuff. So what are some of the things, what can you download when we get to your website?
Oh my gosh, there's so much there. So if you go to my website, I haven't been there in a while, but this is, we're modeling in real time. If you're somebody who identifies as creator, which I do, you just create a whole bunch of stuff and you're probably pretty disorganized because you create, you're not that reactive. You've probably got a whole bunch of content that you could repurpose and turn into books. So you're probably going to need to hire Melanie to go and, gather all that content that you've created somewhere, all those 500 webinars, all those master classes that you've done nothing with. Those are all books lying in waiting for you to do something with them. Okay, so go to my website, and I believe that there is probably a work with me button somewhere on my website, and then there's probably something that says free resources, I think. And I think that's where you can find Turn on your
Yes.
Right? Does that work?
Right now, yes, absolutely. So you can get a lot of wonderful things, and also on the homepage, you have offered the best brain hacks, 108 scientific, spiritual, and sensual strategies for success, and I love the alliteration.
So that's another free book. So there are 2 free books you can go grab on my website. Turn on Your Tap is buried somewhere, and Best Brain Hacks is right there on the above the fold on the homepage. Best Brain Hacks is another way for you to bypass the conscious mind and activate more of your subconscious mind. And I really love this book because they're all really simple strategies for you to be more aware of sensation.
So I want to ask you that. So tapping, it's literally like.
So you're going like this. You're just moving around in different parts of your body. And there are so many different ways like that. This is kind of the easy format. There's so many different ways to tap. And I talk you through in Turn on Your Tap, how to tap. The high level view of tapping, I believe, is that neurologically, we know that your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. Mm. And so you can either be in fear or you can be in gratitude. you can be in fear or you can be in not fear. And there have been so many studies done about tapping that it reduces anxiety by 40%, it reduces depression by 35%, it reduces pain by 57%, it reduces symptoms of PTSD by 43%, food cravings disappear by 74%. I mean,
how? By just tapping?
Because it turns off the fear response. So the way that our brains work is sensation is coming in. So this is what Best Brain Hacks is about. We are just a giant sensing, perceiving organism. If you think about it, your brain is locked in a dark room and it has never seen the light of day. Your brain actually has no idea what is going on out here because your brain is locked in a dark room known as your skull. Your eyes, your pupils, are actually open. This is why I think it was Plato says something about if you look into somebody's eyes, you look into their soul. Or one of those Greek philosophers, I should know, I don't remember. Anyway, if you look into your eyes, your pupil connects to your retina, which is reflecting light. Light is just sensation. It's just vibration that your brain interprets as dark or light, as cold or hot. Vibration enters your ears. Your brain interprets that as Beethoven or I don't know, Krishna Das, right? Or a dog barking or water running, right? Your brain just makes things up. And it says, this is good, this is bad, I like this, I don't like this, right? It's really funny, right?
It's hilarious, but I don't think it's supposed to be, but yes, go on.
We take ourselves so seriously as if the brain is saying, oh, you're going to be in trouble. Why am I in trouble? So many of my clients feel like they're going to be in trouble for making millions of dollars. Why? Because our conditioning is that we as women aren't supposed to be the ones making millions of dollars. Men are supposed to do that. We're supposed to be worth less. We're supposed to be worthless. We're supposed to be disempowered. We're supposed to be like, oh, let me clean that up for you. No. I mean, who made that up? And yet we all follow this until we interrupt it. I see you rolling your eyes, so yay, right?
No, you're right. Like, I'm cleaning up. I don't know why.
Right, me too, constantly. And but when you start to question it, you realize, oh, well, that's just something that I'm doing because I thought I was supposed to, but I never questioned it. It's kind of like the roast. So, there's a parable about somebody who's always cuts the ends off the roast. Let's say it's the mother, since we're like being in this stereotypical conversation about how women are conditioned to like not be powerful, not be wealthy, not be self-expressed. So there's a mother and she cuts the ends off the roast. And the granddaughter says, the granddaughter says, why are you doing that? And so her mother says, I don't know, let me ask my mother. So then she asks her mother, Mom, how come we cut the ends off the roast? And the mother says, I don't know, let me ask my mother. So I asked the great grandmother, how come we cut the ends off the roast? And the grandmother says, well, that's the only size pan we had. Like, there's no good reason. There's no good reason at all. If you have a pan that's as big as your whole roast, great. Like, there's no good reason for us to do any of the things that we do. But there is a really good reason for us to do the things that we do. And that is because our brains are wired, number one, for safety. So your brain is wired to sync up with the people that you're closest to. Your brain is wired to take on their values without question, to take on their beliefs without question, to take on the identity they gave you without question. My parents named me Deborah. I'm supposed to go around life as Deborah. That's my identity. My parents, I was born in the US, so I walk around with the identity of an American. I went to a certain school, so I have the identity of the kind of person who went to a certain kind of school. I've run marathons, so I have the identity of the kind of person who does those kinds of athletic events. I'm in a woman's body, so I have the identity of a woman, etc. I've just taken on all those identities. And look at all the people who love going to Burning Man and taking on a new identity, as if those 10 days I'm allowed to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I'm like, I've never been to Burning Man because this is my life, like, all the time. Why not express yourself in a way that allows you to explore more of your consciousness? This is what writing is about, right? When we write, down, we get stuff out of our head, and the stuff that comes out of our pens or our fingers, if we write on a computer, we're like, I don't know about you, but I noticed, like, where'd that come from? Oh my gosh, like that was brilliant. I didn't know that was inside of me. I'm constantly amazed by stuff that comes out of my mouth.
Okay. Well, I have laughed. I have been saddened by my own behavior, but I want to know, you know, you said you're not immune from this either. You said you're not immune from the ego. So how do you constantly remind yourself? If you don't have a Deborah to help you remind yourself, because you are you.
That's such a good question. So look at the word remind.
Mhm.
So we get stuck, me included. We all get stuck in the land of ego, in the land of judgment, in the land of comparison and
I live
criticism.
there. Yeah, I live there.
When we are looking through the lens, when we are referring to mind. One of the books I'm writing is called Remind, because you get stuck when you're looking at your life through the lens of your mind. You have a mind, but you're not the mind. You have a heart, but you're not your heart. You have kidneys, but you're not your kidneys. You need all of you to participate in this experience known as life. And all of you has to work together as a team, or your life is going to SUCK, right? You have pleasure. You can't have fun. You can't have enjoyment. You can't have growth and confidence that comes from doing the thing you didn't know you could do without your body. Your mind can't do jack without your body.
That's true.
We need to observe, oh, those are the shenanigans the mind likes to float by my window every day. Do I pay attention to them? Do I let them float on by? Do I make them mean something about me? Am I addicted to them? Do I identify as that? So meditation is your best friend.
Mm.
Meditation will allow you to observe, be amused and entertained by the pattern without needing to follow it unless you choose to. And the beautiful thing about being in relationship with your mind is that you're not identified as it. You're in relationship with it.
It's so empowering.
Yeah, it's really empowering and it's really entertaining. And that allows me to not take myself so seriously. It's a role I'm playing. I mean, let's get back to writing, because we're here talking about writing.
Yeah.
And I have a background as a documentary filmmaker.
Yeah.
And so I'm quite aware. I wasn't aware until I became aware that I'm always shining my light out there and I'm projecting it onto whatever. Right now I'm projecting it onto you, and you're being reflected back to me, and I'm seeing you and I can hear you and you can see me. And I'm always projecting a movie, and I'm always watching what's the movie, because life's giving me feedback. Life's saying, how am I doing at the movie that I created? I wrote the movie. I'm the location director. I'm the production designer. I'm the script writer. I play all the roles. And I actually like to create drama because that makes it exciting, right? Otherwise, it's so boring. I like challenges. I like obstacles. I like things I got to figure out. I mean, how boring would Chekhov be if there was no gun, right? Like, we're always creating drama in our lives because it makes it exciting. Life is so boring if nothing ever changes. That you're never going to grow that way, and you're never going to be stimulated, and your brain loves novelty, which is what Best Brain Hacks is about. It's 108 ways to tickle your brain. It's 108 ways to turn yourself on with sensation, because all that's coming in always is light. That's vibration, known as blue, red, green, yellow, right? Or sound, or smell, or taste, or texture. Emotion is feeling its energy moving through your body. And when you wake up to that, oh my gosh, is life exciting and thrilling and pleasurable. And it's something simple like the smell of homegrown tomatoes. That's an intoxicating smell, the smell of basil. right? You just discover that there's so much pleasure in life.
All right. Well, oh my goodness. This has been, okay, this went by so quickly and I could just listen to you talk for hours, but we don't have hours, unfortunately. But you can go here to deborahfryer.com, download the books, find out more about this incredible woman. And I thank you so much for being here and enlightening us on all this amazing stuff. Appreciate it so much.
Thanks for asking awesome questions. It's so interesting. The brain is so interesting. And I just love exploring all the ways that the brain makes up the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here. So everybody, thank you for watching. Go ahead and make sure that you get to this website right here. And I want to remind you that we have the Boost Your Book Sales Workshop, and that is coming up on October 27th. And you can go to, you'll see the link in the comments. You can RSVP. It's a free workshop, and I hope that you will attend. Thank you so much.